What's going on, everybody? It's Woods. Hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to sit down and have a little bit of a real conversation with you guys, just because there's been a lot happening behind the scenes, and I think it's finally time to talk about both, what's next, and also kind of where I've came from, what decisions have kind of led me up to this point. So, Season 1 was a trip. Season 2 is almost here, and honestly, I'm very excited for this, and I'm more excited than I've been in a very long time. Over the past few weeks, I've been making some pretty hefty decisions, not just about my characters or raid team or guild, but where I want to go both as a player, a human being, a content creator, a musician, a college professor. And for those of you who haven't heard yet, I am not raiding with Valor anymore, and I am now raiding with High Tide. And this is something I've been incredibly passionate about, and I'm super duper proud to be a part of it, and I want to explain it. High Tide isn't just another guild, it's a very long-term vision. We're building a competitive esports org centered around players who genuinely want to improve, compete, push each other to become the best versions of themselves in-game and out of game. And that's really the culture I want to be around, is many players that share the same intentions and share the same purpose of why they want to be there, is to be the best. Not just in-game, but also be the best out of game. Going into the season, my competitive goals are very ambitious, but High Tides are as well. We are chasing Hall of Fame, we're building a dedicated MDI team, we're preparing to compete in trials of AWC, we're expanding into other competitive games that we're genuinely passionate about. And what's crazy is we're not trying to be good for just one raid tier. We're trying to build something that will last significantly longer than myself or even potentially one of the raiders that are going to be coming on our team. We want to build something that's through objectivity, and it will last decades. And that's what excites me the most, is that we want to build something that's going to make people want to stay and make people feel home, that we want to strive to be the best. One thing I really want people to understand is that High Tide isn't just about WoW. WoW's where we're starting, because obviously that's what you're watching right now. That's what I have just pulled up. But our vision is so much bigger than just WoW. Our goal is to build one of the premier esports org on the East Coast. Not by chasing every new game that comes out, but by competing in the games that we genuinely love playing. Whether that be World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Harry Potter, Quidditch Champions, something we discover years down the road, maybe even Rematch. We want High Tide to become known for competitive excellence, professionalism, and building great people just as much as great players. The Tide rises together isn't just a slogan. It's how we want to operate as an org, a culture. We all want to bring each other up professionally. We don't want everybody just to kind of sit around in, I can't get high in my score, I can't get any better ranking, I can't do that. No, let's build each other up. Let's all learn together. So, that being said, let's talk about the elephant in the room. My characters. I've had way too many people ask me, what are you playing this season? As you can see, I'm playing Holy Pally in this key, and people might not even know me for playing Pally at all, and I'm just kind of going through and storming this in a 12. Are you still playing DPS or tank? Are you changing mains again? What are you playing this season? Kind of everybody asking me that. And I guess the bigger question, or the bigger answer here, is I'm no longer going to be DPSing, and I'm no longer going to be tanking. Not out of like, oh, I will never do it again, but my main role at this point moving forward is going to be healer, and I'm actively going to just be transitioning kind of all my attention to actively being a healer and being a really stinking good one, and giving educational content for at least like, okay, how do I pick something up, and I've absolutely never done it before, and now I'm being asked to do something at the high level. Well, what's the difference? And kind of showing the objectivity versus the subjectivity of how to play something. So that's kind of where I'm at first, is I'm a healer main, and I believe the decision from my guild master and also from the raid lead, which both of them are not myself. Actually, I am the guild lead, but I'm not the raid lead anymore. I believe I'm playing Presevoker. And the reason being is we tested it a couple times in the past, or in the PTR raid testing, which actually I'll pull up that VOD just so that we can kind of look at that specifically, because I'm right here, might as well. There we go. So now we have Presovoker POV. Oh. There's me taking Bubba outside. There we go. So now we have Season 2 VOD footage. And this is going crazy on social media, so this is okay if we let it out. But yeah, I was playing Presovoker on the PTR in raid testing yesterday, and we were comparing it to the Mistweaver performance and just kind of how it overall does, and the popularity of Mistweaver versus the popularity of Presovoker. And there's a significantly larger amount of people that are playing Mistweaver, and not as many people playing Presovoker. And the group of people that I run keys with specifically actively want to pursue running keys on live server, but they also want to talk about and like getting a group together for MDI. So what's nice is on MDI, and when it comes to Tournament Realm, I will have the experience for Presovoker, and I'll be ready to go specifically for that class. But it's probably not going to be the meta healer of this season, and it's probably not going to fit the specific niche of high keys, high mythic plus. Like, Altar of Fangs just came out on the PTR as well, and we've been kind of testing the healers there, and it definitely doesn't feel like Presovoker is the strongest right now, but it definitely feels like it has the throughput, and it definitely feels like the healer tuning this tier out of any, is anybody can do a key level up to an 18, up to a 17, up to a 16, essentially up to get to server first, up to maybe even realm first, or region first. But actively, I think Presovoker is going to be a class that I'm going to really enjoy in the long term. I've honestly not played an Evoker, but after playing it in a couple of 12s, playing it in, well, a couple of 12s on live server, playing it in a couple of keys on PTR, plus raid testing, plus live server raid, and comparing the differences, and plus the transition of me going to a healer main versus a kind of flex main, I think Presovoker is going to be a really good fit for me, so I'm super duper excited for that. I do actively want to at least address my goals for Mythic Plus, and it's going to be this is going to be really weird and really contingent, but the 1% or the 0.1% of my class and my spec specifically. So let's say Presovokers are really, really good. Presovokers are where Mistweavers are. Then I actively want to push the keys that they are pushing. If Presovoker is kind of, I can't say in the toilet, but kind of where it is now, where it's not the best healer, but you can actively get the throughput on it for maybe a 19, then I'd want to push 19s. I'd want to push whatever my class can handle. I do plan on maintaining the Mistweaver just to make sure that I feel good for MDI purposes, that I'm keeping up on all of that. I believe the couple of healers that my MDI team is asking me to prepare is a Presovoker, a Resto Sham, a Mistweaver, and a Disc Priest. And then we're just kind of figuring out which one's going to be the best just by playing with them in keys through live server and just kind of simming them out and seeing what works, what doesn't work. Another thing I do want to at least discuss and just kind of put out there is my goals for streaming and content creation. And over the last year, being in as many different guilds as I have been and as many different organizations as I have been, I've learned what worked, I've learned what didn't work, and what I want my content to become, kind of the identity of what I want this channel to be. And moving forward, I want to put a much bigger emphasis on consistency, especially when we're looking at prepping for season 2 and how we can actively make a difference. That means more streams, more high-end difficulty content, more Mythic Plus, more raid analysis, more coaching discussions, more behind-the-scenes content from High Tide. I don't want people to just watch me play. Yes, I do want that when I can just turn on the stream and show y'all what I'm working on and just kind of actively express what is happening in the High Tide world and also what's happening in the WoW community and what we're actively working on kind of moving forward. I want people to become better players because they watched and because they understood or even maybe asked a question while I'm a stream or while I'm on stream. That's the type of creator I want to become. And that being said, another question I've been getting a lot since I've been streaming on Twitch, streaming on Kick, streaming on YouTube, making YouTube shorts, making Instagram shorts. Are you staying on Twitch? Am I moving to Kick? After spending a lot of time thinking about it, I think, honestly, both of them are not the option. I think that YouTube is going to be where I focus my content and streaming moving forward. For me, this decision isn't about chasing the biggest payout, and it's not about chasing the newest platform or the newest idea. It's about building High Tide into something that's recognizable, something into a larger perspective, and I think YouTube actively gives High Tide the opportunity to do that while also growing myself as a content creator. One of YouTube's biggest advantages is that everything lives in one ecosystem. Streams become videos, videos then become the shorts, and every piece of content kind of has a loophole back around to itself, and it has the chance to be discovered long after I'm done streaming. So that means every hour I invest into streaming has the opportunity to not only work for me, but it also has the opportunity to work for High Tide. And my goal's always been a little bit bigger than just becoming a streamer. I've been always trying to build an esports org or compete for an esports org specifically. And eventually an esports org that people will recognize, want to be a part of. YouTube gives me the best opportunity to really show what High Tide becomes over the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and create content that really reaches people, whether they're watching live, finding us months later, whenever you're watching this, honestly. And it also allows me to accomplish 2 goals at once. As I grow my own channel, I'm also growing the visibility of High Tide. Every stream, every video, every piece of content helps both my personal stuff, but also since I'm under contract with High Tide, it kind of helps them out as well. I actively kind of get to show them what High Tide can do, and we actively progress the hardest content. And another thing I want to at least express on my channel and show you a little more is how to balance the real life struggles of just working a job, being a human being, because y'all have seen them. I got a dog, y'all have seen him. I got a cat. I have another cat that's hiding in the bedroom, but y'all have seen these animals that I have. I'm a real life human being, and I love interacting with everybody that has been interacting with the channel. Thank you so much for doing so. It's very much appreciated. But I want to show you how to balance the struggles of not only competing in an esport, let alone 2 esports perhaps, and having multiple admin responsibilities and working with multiple different communities and esports sponsorships and partnerships, and trying to actively show you what a good schedule might look like or what a good lifestyle might look like. So that's kind of my goal specifically for content, at least in this sense. One thing I haven't talked about publicly really much is what High Tide is trying to become. Like I said, we're not interested in becoming another guild that disappears after a couple raid tiers. We're trying to build something sustainable that actively 5-10 years from now, people will recognize the High Tide name, and people will recognize we're not just about glitz and glamour of, oh, the beach is pretty, but nah, we're coming for competition. We want to be a name that nobody will be reckoned with. Not because of just one tournament, one expansion, one raid tier, one season. No, we want whatever we put down one season to actively move forward from then on. So, I don't know what that was, but that is what it is. So I do just want to say thank you as well to everyone who supported me, watched streams, hung out in chat, ran keys with me, ran a raid with me, simply believed in what High Tide is trying to build, and it genuinely really means a lot. From the bottom of my heart, it really does mean a lot. This is only the beginning. We've got a super duper long way to go. We've got a lot of different things to be talking about, whether it be Season 2 raid, or whether it be Season 2 dungeon pools, or the plan for MDI Season 2, whatever it might be. So, if you're excited for everything coming in Season 2, I'd love for you to come along for the ride. Make sure you're subbed to the channel. Come hang out during the streams. I'm going to be streaming probably every weekday, maybe even weekends around noon to 1-ish Eastern time, until essentially the summer ends, and then I'm going to be making another one of these videos as I'm kind of wrapping up the summer, going into the semester, and kind of just making Season 2 active before the push for Hall of Fame begins. Here's kind of where we are. So, check out High Tide as we continue building something special. Let me know down in the comments what you're most excited about this season. And as always, the tide rises together. I will see you later.